Hey everyone, so I just wanted to make this video so I can show you how I make my components and part selection on Mouser. There are probably other ways to find them, but I will show you just some tricks I do to find any components I'm looking for my builds, for nonlinear or some other do-it-yourself projects for synthesizer. So let's say one way to find things is to base your search on other similar items. So let's say we want to find 2 kilo ohm resistor, and we have this 10 kilo ohm part, right? So we can take this 10 kilo ohm part, we want to find a 2.2 kilo ohm resistor with similar characteristics. So what you will do is you will take this 10 kilo ohm part, which is a SMD 1/4 of watt, 10 kilo ohm, 0809, and basically on the product description of this particular item, what you will do is you will be using the show similar feature. So you want to use you want to find all the resistors that match, that they are 1/4 of watt, that they are 1% of tolerance, and the package which is on inches always. So it's 0805, and with these four checks, you can go and show similar. So this will show you a lot of components that matches these values, and basically you just want to search for on the resistance for the 2.2 kilo ohms. So this is 2.2. We'll go down until we reach kilo ohms range, which is right here, 2.2 kilo ohm range, and we apply filters. So now, right now, we only have 4 remaining results, and basically you don't care about the series. The series is just some numeric numbers that are used by the fabricant of this particular part, so they know probably the year or the technology used for the part. And these other are not really also very relevant, and the ppm is not really relevant unless, because it's 200 ppm will be more pricey, so you want to stick to 100 ppm. In any case, what you will do is with these 4 parts that you have here, you will probably want to order ascending by pricing. And this is it. This is the part you should get. You should see they have in stock. If they do not have it in stock, then you will move to the next one, and that's it. So let's repeat this again with another part. So let's find a more weird value. So something that is more difficult. So let's say I want to find, I will be using this 100 kilo ohm resistor, and I want to find this 82 kilo ohm resistor, which is a more difficult value to find. So I will do the same. I will just search for the 100 kilo ohm. I will select 1/4 of watt, 1%, and 0805. You want to find the same manufacturer. You can select it, but we really don't care right now. And you have all of this. So what you will do now is filter for 82 kilo ohms, and we have 2 remaining results, and it is pretty much the same. So any of these 2 will do for you. You probably want to choose this one because it's cheaper. This is like less than a cent, 100, and this is almost 5 cents for each one of which you order at least 100. Probably the difference between these ones are some very high quality specs, so this resistor can be used on more difficult conditions. But for building synthesizers, normally the chip will work as long as you take into considerations these two values. So let's do something else. Let's find a 1 kilo ohm resistor. Oh, sorry, 10 kilo ohm resistor maybe. Or what I can do is show you just from scratch film resistors. One thing you need to notice also is that sometimes manufacturers, when they input the data of their products, is not correctly. So you want to make more broad search. So I am the film resistors category. So this is the biggest category for finding resistors. And what you want to do here is just, if we want to find resistors for our projects, we will use SMD. We will select a fourth of watt again. So as you can see, for instance, here some manufacturers actually input 0.25 watts, and some other manufacturers input 250 milliwatts, which is also a fourth of watt. So this is basically the same. You can choose both in this case, but by selecting one, you will get here how many manufacturers have actually used this value. So you can go and use this one. This one has 44,000 manufacturers, and this one's so this probably is a manufacturer that only put 7 products on this. So we will go with this one. And with tolerance again, we will select 1%, and case code in inches, you will select 0.805, and that's it. The rest of the values you don't really care. You just apply filters, and come on, Mouser. There you go. So we'll search 1 kilo ohm, 10 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm. So what I want to show you with this is when you have a lot of things to choose from, like 12 remaining. So I will apply filters, and I will show you how to select this 1 kilo ohm resistor. So it will be normally Mouser by default sorts your search by availability, and what you want to do is always sort it by pricing, because we have already selected the relevant filters we want, which is power rating, resistance, termination, tolerance, and case code. So pretty much the same. The next criteria will be pricing. So for example, this one, the most cheapest one right now is out of stock. So it's on order, so you can actually order them because they will be back order. So you want to move to the next one, and you have stock for these ones. This one has a very good price, which is like euro for 100, and that's it. So you will just go here, and you can pick up your price ranking, the quantity to pick the best price ranking. So what I want to do now is do the same, but for caps. But it's pretty much the same process. So what I will do is take for example the 100 nanofarads, which is 104 value on the cap, and let's find a 10 nanofarads. A 10 nanofarads cap. So pretty much the same. You will work with the part. This will give you the general category over here on the top and the product description. Actually, this product is not in stock. Let's do something different. Instead of finding the 10 nanofarads, let's find an alternative 100 nanofarads for this one. So what we want to do is the same. We just select the capacitance for these ones, the case coding, and we will show similar, which is 155 products. For synthesizers, you probably want to select 25 volts through 50 volts. Probably bigger voltage rating is not really needed, and just prices will be very high. Prices will skyrocket. So probably 25 to 50 is okay. And we want to select maybe 5% or 10%. That should be enough. 5% is actually really good. Yeah, let's stick to 5% just for the sake of this. So we will get very precise caps. I will say 5%. Apply filters. We have 9 remaining, and from these 9, I will do the same. I will just order ascending by pricing, and I will see how the pricing goes on this one. So these ones are in stock. These ones go for a cent for 100. So these ones are actually really good pricing. And these ones also. So probably any one of these two parts will do for replacing your 100 nanofarads for the other part that was obsolete. If we want to do the other thing we wanted to try for the first on the caps, which is to find a 10 nanofarad, it will be the same. So we go to this out of stock and obsolete and everything part, and we can select just we can go to the category, to the category for multi-layer caps. SMD is right here, so you click here, and in capacitance we will pick 10 nanofarads. 10 nanofarads is 0.01 microfarads, which is equivalent to 10 nanofarads. We will, for caps, you only care about capacitance, the voltage rating, remember, which has to be 25 volts, 50 volts, and the case coding, so the cap fits on your PCB. And tolerance, 5%. 5% is more than enough. And we will apply filters. And again, sort by pricing, ascending pricing, and that's it. This will be the part for 10 nanofarads part. One recommendation is I sometimes when I order, for instance, when I'm on this spreadsheet and I'm ordering when I'm ordering resistors, and I'm ordering this specific part from Crowa Spear Electronics, I try to stick to the same manufacturer. So and that's fine. If you change for one value for another, it's fine. So what you can do is just pretty much just select what I told you before, the Crowa Spear, the manufacturer check, and the tolerance, and the power rating, and the case coding in inches. And when you apply filters, you will have 700 resistors from the same manufacturer on different ohms value, on resistance value. So, and this will make more easy your build, basically, because you will identify that all the blue resistors are, all the blue components are resistors, and when the resistors have a code casing, it will be the same. So you can expect more consistency on your builds. But that if you don't find a specific value for a manufacturer, you just should go and find for another one. Another thing we can do is how to find the 4148 diodes, for instance. So this is the recommended part by Andrew. And and let's say this one is out of stock. So what you want to do is, normally these diodes you will search only for 41, 48, and that should be enough. You want to stick to the case, which is SOD 80. So what we want to do is type 48, 41, 48 on this preliminary filtering. We want to select diode, which is normally is the biggest, where is, or LL 41, 48, let's discrete semiconductors, and on this category we want to select SOD 80. We have 5 remaining, and the rest of the specs doesn't really matter. So pretty much any of these ones should do, because the packing and these values are really high anyway, so we don't care about them. For integrated circuits, let's say we want to find, let's get a weird one. So for instance, let's get from these ones. So on if you go to let's go to the wiki of nonlinear. In the wiki of nonlinear, we go to the list of modules, and for instance the Bindura sequencer, and on the bottom we can see that you are recommended to grab some integrated circuits like this one, which is 4081. Let's ignore that they're recommending this part for now, so you can know how to search for it. So what you want to do is just use this number on the mouser, 4081. We know we are searching for integrated circuits, so we will select integrated circuits category, and here we will want to do SMD, because we are told to grab SOIC. SOIC is SMD, and gate drivers. No, none of these ones. So the category for these ones are logic gates, I guess. All CMOS are always CD. Maybe I should search for CD 4081. That would be easier. Yeah, CD is like the prefix for most of the CMOS integrated circuits. So just SMD, SOIC, and these ones, yes. So this is logic, yeah, logic gates, quad, 2 input, and gates. And you wanna do pretty much the same, just sort by pricing and grab the cheaper ones, because normally the ones that are more expensive, they are just graded for military or medical stuff, which needs to be very precise, and the price is quite different. For instance, the most cheap is like 33 cents, and the cheapest and the most expensive can be 70 cents. So if you are ordering 10, this will be 6 euros. If you are ordering 10, this will be 2 euros. So that's the difference, because if you add up everything in your mouse order, at the end of the day there are a lot of components, and paying 2 euros per part It's like a lot of money always. And that's it.